You want answers.
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
So he says, correct, there you go, baby. There you go, Shuck. Lucky Shuck. So JP says, so our, this is him, JP the officer, saying, he's asking Shuck multiple questions on what the standard Metro uniform is. All right? So Shuck finally says sand colored, and JP says, correct. You saw the paper I just pushed up. He says, there you go. And JP continues and says, so our uniform, our normal patrol uniform would be tan colored.
Okay.
Shuck says, yes. JP says, uniform. She was not wearing that. Was she? She was not wearing that. No, she wasn't. Good guess. I should be the one showing you. Hold on a second. I got a card that says yes and no. Okay, so
Yes.
Repeat after me whenever you see it, because this is audioed and not videoed.
Right.
I can show you this, and really all you have to do is say yes or no. Okay.
Because it's only audio. There's no
That's
video.
it. Yes. No. All right. All right. So here we go. Are you good with that?
Yes.
All right. So JP says, all right, so let's go back. He says, so our uniform, our normal patrol uniform, be the tan colored.
Yes.
She was not wearing that.
No.
JP says, okay, what was she wearing? She had a vest on?
Yes, she did. She had a vest on.
JP says, rifle. And Shuck says, she might have had a black shirt. It's hard to tell. So much was going on.
What the hell? Okay, there's a new abbreviation here.
Look, this is one of those conversations that you would have like if you went to like a strip joint and you're like, hey dude, what was she wearing? Maybe I was talking to the same person. What did she have on? A short sleeve. God. Was she wearing tan? Because that's what my uniform looks like.
Oh my God.
All right.
Did you get her number? Does he ask him if he got her number?
No. Not yet. It gets better.
Okay.
So
better.
JP, the officer, says, okay. Shuck says, long pants.
No shit.
So we know she had possibly a tan shirt, short sleeves, long pants, and a vest with a long rifle. All right. Possibly
a black shirt.
Possibly a male. But we know she was in her 40s.
That's offended right now.
All right.
Okay. Speed read. You're not going to be my reader anymore.
I know.
You keep giving me bad story tells.
I can't make this up. If I were to make it up, it'd be much better than this.
Yes.
So JP goes, okay,
Sure.
Long pants. Wow.
Phew, God.
Okay. Hey, it's almost like going to, Tokyo or, Hong Kong and going, hey, did you see that Asian guy? About 5'6", dark hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yes. All right. So Shuck says the plant. We're on the pants, right? Because last thing you said was long pants.
This
JP
is
says,
stupid
"Okay,
shit.
it is stupid." So the massacre of the U.S. and they're talking about stupid pants. So Shuck says probably black. I couldn't tell you. Another Metro officer, probably about 5'9", 6 foot, Caucasian guy. He was in Metro fatigues. Can you guess what JP asks?
What color?
Yes! Yes!
Dude, I am so right on a lot of
Yes!
these things.
What color were those fatigues?
What in the world, dude?
You're pretty
terrible.
good, man.
I am.
You must look at a lot of male officers.
Not that there's anything wrong with
Not
that.
that there's anything wrong with that. Yeah. Okay, so Shuck says, and he had a shotgun.
Oh, God. Did he ask him what color the shotgun was?
Oh, but he said, the tan Metro. And JP says, the Metro uniform? And Shuck says,
Yes.
JP goes, okay. This is
Can
so
we
sad.
ask? This is terrible.
Hey, I'm trying to get through it, dude. Okay.
We got to do a where are they now?
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Hopefully they're out of the police department. Hopefully Shuck actually fixed the leak on 62 because I mean, if not, we got a problem, or they got a problem.
Yeah.
So anyway, Shuck says, and then there was another guy there. Well, I bet. I mean, we've seen the center core. There's like 50 guys there. An older gentleman, heavier set. Okay, what was that? A fireman?
It could be a paramedic. Oh, yeah, and he's pissed because he just had to leave the firehouse.
Yeah.
This for you.
So anyway, all right. So he says an older gentleman, heavier set, about 6 foot. He had a helmet. He had a vest. You can tell him and the lady were possibly partners, or something, because of the way they interacted.
JP said.
Yes, you are correct. He said, "Okay."
I'm so good. I'm so good. I can just, I'm amazed myself.
Amazes me too. So he was then not in a uniform.
Oh, man.
The guy evidently who was with the woman as a partner, right? And Chuck says,
No.
"Good job." JP says, "Not that it really matters, right?" We got video of all of it. JP says, "So they focus on this guy for some reason. He's a cop. He's one of many there." So he says, JP says, "So he was in just kind of street clothes, but had no tactical." Chuck says, "Yeah, he had his." JP says, "The vest on and the helmet." Chuck says, "Tactical gear." JP says, and he had a shotgun. Shuck says, he had a pistol up. JP says, he had a pistol up. Or he didn't ask the question. He goes, JP says, he had a pistol up. Shuck says, he had a pistol out. So let me read that back. Shuck says, he had a pistol up. JP says, he had a pistol up. Shuck says, he had a pistol out. The woman had a rifle, and the Metro officer in the tan uniform, and JP answers for him, says, had a shotgun. Shuck says, had a shotgun. JP says, excellent. Okay.
What he's done is in the past 5 days, he's looked at video. I mean, because there's been millions of videos. And if this has been a setup, he's already looked at the video, so he knows what the questions are anyway. And half these, I mean, most of them are leading questions anyway. So anyway, go ahead.
All right. So JP says, so they are there with you now. Well, no, they were there with you then, not now.
Right.
So they're there with you now. The shooting has stopped. And at that point,
in time,
this is the cop saying this.
I know.
At that point is when blank asks you to go lock out the elevators, which is Shannon, his boss. Is that about right? Or, because you also described that people started ... Shuck says, yes, exactly. JP says, hey, JP says, just filling out, people started just filling out the rooms, basically coming out of their rooms. Shuck says, yes. Well, they started, Shuck says, they started to try to come out of their rooms, and that's when we were yelling at them to get back in their rooms. Well, that's interesting. His timeline's all jacked up. He's seen the videos, but he must have seen the videos in a different order.
Right.
Or he's remembering them in a different order. Because he wasn't there.
He wasn't there during that.
The cop was saying, get back in the goddamn room, blah, 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 right? And then the Asian guy comes out, and the people from the 300 arrest him, and,
Right.
He's got his stories all jacked up. So anyway, he says, well, so they started to try to come out of their rooms, and that's when we were yelling to get at them to get back in their rooms. When they hadn't come out, he says, it's all jacked up. So they hadn't come out when I was up there the first time. No one had really come out. Well, what does that mean? Either no one came out or everybody came, or someone came out, but you can't really have no one had really come out. What does that mean? So I think one woman may have ran out. It was just so hectic.
JP that's confusing.
JP says, sure. Shuck says, yeah, I mean, not knowing that I would be going through questioning like this, it's hard to sort of remember every single little detail. Okay. JP says, listen. And he says, there's a name, blank. And I'm assuming it's Stephen because the top looks like a top of an S. So he goes, JP says, listen, Stephen, you are doing an amazing job. You are recalling more things than a lot of officers can even recall on events. So don't beat yourself up. You're doing an amazing, Shuck says, thank you. JP says, amazing job right now. Shuck says, thank you. I had a lot of time to think about it. Well, yeah, you sure did have a lot of freaking time to think about it.
Exactly.
JP, the officer says, so Do you then, I know I keep going back to this, when you leave to go to blah, 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 ... he says, no, that's all right. Don't worry. Yeah. JP says, basically, when you leave to go to lock out, but I'm just trying to get the timing down, right? JP says, so do you recall what was occurring then in the hallways? JP says, and were there more Metro officers there or just the original 3 when you left to go lock out? They're talking about, I think, the elevators being locked out. Shuck says, the original 3 were there. More had come up the 300 wing, and that's when they were kicking the doors, and we yelled at them, it's the wrong hallway. Shuck says, it's the 100 hallway. JP says, so that happened twice then. The original officers are kicking. You're like, hey, guys, it's over here. Shuck says, no. The original one showed up, and the second set were the ones, and JP says, were the ones that were kicking the doors. Shuck says,
yes.
JP says,
Okay.
Shuck says,
yes.
JP says, got it. Shuck says, and then, I can look at my notes. Right?
Who said that?
Shuck.
You want answers.
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.